Morning everybody, it's Rob, Yoga Dad, and I'm on the ball. 8:29 actually, I think. So a little bit early, so apologies if you're not quite ready for the session today. But yeah, here we go again. It's day 15. We're at the halfway stage of the Summer Stretch Challenge. Really pleased, delighted that you've been able to join me this morning. And if you've been to every session or just dipped in and out, welcome the fact that you've been able to find that small amount of time each day just to prioritise your well-being and just do some amazing work in terms of raising donations and awareness for the charities that we're supporting through this 6-week challenge. So let's get started. We're going to be back standing again. Weather god's still not being too kind on us this morning. I'm matching the grey skies with a grey t-shirt and grey shorts this morning. So hopefully you can see me with the grey backdrop. But anyway, let's get going. So we'll start standing. So as we're doing over the past few days, just rocking from side to side, feeling that weight distribution across either side of the foot and forward and back. Okay, and just really rolling onto the front of the balls of the feet, rocking back onto the heels again, and just really feeling that grounding down through all four corners. Now closing the eyes. And just lifting the head up to a point at which it feels like, even with your eyes closed, you're gazing out onto the horizon, chin tucked in ever so slightly towards the chest. And just really feeling that length that you're creating now all the way from those grounded feet. Tracing that line along the legs, knees lifting, thighs lifting up towards the hips. All along the front body, the back body. The thumbs rotating away from the centre of the body just to create some more space. Across the chest and the shoulders. Shoulder blades knitting in towards one another on the back body. And that length all the way through to the top of the head, shining out like a light towards the ceiling and the sky above. And slowly opening the eyes, nice soft gaze. So we're going to start just by, and I'll just take myself back a little bit further. We're going to start by lifting our arms up and overhead. So inhaling, lift up, and exhaling, hands to the centre. We'll do that twice more. Inhale and lift up, and back to centre. Rotating around, just really exploring the range of movement that's available for you across the shoulders. Inhaling now to lift the arms up, palms down, back round to the centre. Arms up, out to the side and back round. Once more. And each time just feeling that little bit more length along the side body, across the chest and the shoulders, and then back to the centre. I'll turn myself sideways on. So inhale, lift up this time. Exhaling to fold forward as we've done the last few days. Really focus on that length, maintaining that length along the spine, hinging at the hips. Hands down towards the floor. First, subtle bend now for the back of the legs, just to ease any tension that you might be experiencing early morning. Hands to the shins with a flat back on an inhale. Exhaling to fold forward. Bending the knees. Inhale and lift up. Back to centre. Do that twice more. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and fold. Head nice and heavy, gazing back between the knees. Hands to shins on an inhale. Exhaling fold. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. Okay, one more time. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and fold forward. And this time, we'll just cross our palms across our opposite elbows. Just cradling our forearms and just allowing the upper body weight just to sink down towards the floor. And really focus on that length that you're now creating all the way along the back body, breathing into that space between each vertebrae along the spine. And maybe even just straightening those legs out a little bit more as you feel that little bit more length that you're now creating all the way from the heels back towards the hip sockets. Taking the hands away towards the floor again, keeping those knees bent, inhale and lift up. Exhaling back to centre. I'll take the fingers now down towards the side of the feet, so either side of the feet. Bending the knees to lower the hips down towards the heels. As I said yesterday, just go easy on the knees. If it feels too strong at all, and just lifting those hips back up a little bit higher than the knees. Okay, so we've got the hips down towards knee height, arms out in front, palms down towards the floor. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling, press down as you press down through the heels. Press those hips back up again. Inhaling, lengthen. Lift the arms up. Exhaling to centre. Bending the knees again, hips to heels, fingers either side of the feet. Arms out in front, palms towards the floor. Option this time, turn the thumbs up towards the ceiling and lifting the arms up at head height. Whichever position you've found yourself in with your arms this morning, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling, pressing those palms down, lifting the hips up, inhaling, lengthen, lift the arms up, and back to center. Do that once more. Fingers down towards the floor, hips towards the heels at knee height, palms out in front, facing down. Option, thumbs up towards the ceiling, lifting the arms up to head height, keeping that tailbone tucked under, length all the way along the side body. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to press down, lifting the hips up, inhaling up and overhead, exhaling back to center. Okay, I'll take myself to the front of the imaginary mat that we've not got this morning. I'm just going to take these blocks actually either side. So again, as I've said, you can either use foam blocks or something like, just a bit further back actually, thick blocks, that type of thing. Just provide that little bit of extra support for the hands as we go through our hamstring stretch in a moment. So we're going to start just by shifting our weight again across onto the right hand side, so hands onto the hips, fixed point ahead of you, just to give you that focal point. Lifting the left heel up, maybe left knee up towards the upper body, back down again, weight across to the outside of the left foot, lifting the right heel, right knee to upper body, back down again, and this time as we lift the left knee up, we're going to take that left foot back, toe still pointing forward, and we're going to lower the heel toe. You can see I'm tucking out that back heel, just lowering that back knee down towards the floor. Now if you're on a hard surface, you might want to get a blanket, any kind of cushion, that kind of thing, just to provide a bit of extra support. If you've got knobbly knees, any pain in that area at all. Otherwise, heel toeing that front foot, that right foot forward, and just sinking the hips down along the inside of that front thigh. Okay, so really want to be feeling that stretch along the inner right thigh, and also more importantly the inside of that left thigh in that back leg. Okay, option now to take the arms out in front, so thumbs again up towards the ceiling, and again option to lift the arms up and overhead, really focusing on that length that you're now creating along the side body towards the hips. As we exhale, we're going to fold forward, and we're going to take our hands now onto those blocks, or those books that we've got alongside us, and we're just going to roll onto the back of that right heel. So as you can see, I'm now lengthening along the back of the right leg as I'm taking my hips back towards that left heel. Using the blocks here just to provide a bit of extra height. As you can see, the higher I lift myself, the more space I've got across the chest, along the back body as well. Just lower those back down again for me. And focus on inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold forward. And just a subtle bend in that right knee if you need it to ease any tension along the back of the right leg. And we're going to roll that front foot forward again. We're going to take our arms forward and we're going to inhale, lift our arms back up and overhead again. Maybe we're introducing a subtle back bend this time. Exhaling forward, back to the hands on the blocks, rolling onto the back of that right heel, hips back towards the left heel. And again, inhaling to lengthen. And exhaling just to fold forward, hinging at the hips to whatever point feels comfortable to you. Taking that front foot forward again, lifting those arms back up and overhead one final time. Sinking those hips forward and down along the inside of the right thigh. Exhaling back down one final time. Rocking onto the back of the right heel. Hips back towards the left heel again. And each time you might find there's that little bit more length along the back of the right leg. And taking that right foot forward again. This time we'll bring our blocks forward. So as we did yesterday, we'll kind of use those to frame that front foot. So we place our palms across the blocks, or those thick blocks, pressing down through the ball of the left foot, lifting the left knee up now. And those blocks just provide a little bit of extra height so that our upper body isn't sitting too deep, we're not sinking too far forward across that front thigh. So really focusing on that length you're now creating along the back of the left leg, but also the hips are sinking down along the inside of the right thigh. So really deepening into that hip stretch. Now we'll take our left foot now out towards the side, so our left toes, my left toes are actually pointing towards the camera. I'm going to lift myself up, and then move into this kind of warrior two position. So again, another lunge position. I'm going to already get ready to take these blocks around. So I'm moving these blocks around to the other side because I'm going to need them on that other side. Okay, so initially we're going to start and adjust your feet just to find that kind of solid foundation through the floor. So we'll start with a straight front leg. That right foot pointing out towards the short side of the mat if you've got a mat, and then just start bending that right knee. And as we did earlier in the week, just to focus on really ensuring that that right knee is pointing out towards the little toe side on the right foot, just to enable that kind of right hip to open up. So we're bending that right knee, and then we take our arms out in front and back. So it's shoulder height, and really focusing on that length that you're creating all the way along the fingers, space across the chest and the shoulders. And again, you might find just by adjusting the feet forward and back, you can just sink the hips that little bit further down towards the floor as you deepen into the stretch. Now turning the palms up, we'll inhale and lift our arms up and overhead as we straighten that front leg, back to center and exhale and reaching back out again. Inhale and lift up, straighten that front leg, back down, and then we take our hands down by our side, and we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So we're going to take our left foot out now, if we had a mat, towards the short side of the mat on the opposite end. Those right, in fact, what we're going to do first actually is swing that right heel round. So we've got our right toes now pointing forward towards say the back of the mat or back of the room, lowering that right knee down, okay? And then we start adjusting the feet and the knees, so that front foot, that back knee, just so that we really feel that stretch now for our lunge position, our low lunge position. In fact, we now take our blocks, we bring them aside the body again. We start with our hands across that front knee, really focusing on the hips sinking down along the inside of that left thigh this time. Arms out in front, thumbs towards the ceiling, or the grey skies above. And maybe option, just to lift the arms up and overhead, shoulders nice and relaxed away from the ears. And just focusing on that lift, that length all the way along the side body, while at the same time the hips are sinking down. So inhale to reach up, exhaling to fold forward, taking our fingers now down towards the blocks, rolling onto the back of the left heel now, hips back towards the right knee, focusing on that stretch now for the back of the left leg, subtle bend for the left knee, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold forward, maybe even moving the blocks forward if that feels comfortable to you, and then slowly lowering that left foot down, inhaling, lengthen, exhaling back down, extending that left leg back out again, and one more time, inhaling, lift the arms up into that lunge position, exhaling back down again, rolling onto the back of the left heel one final time, and again, as I said before, kind of each time you might feel there's that little bit more length along the back of the left leg. Now taking the left foot back down again, bringing the blocks to books, framing that front foot now. So palms across the blocks, pressing down through the ball of the right foot as you lift the right knee up, so into this high lunge position. And just holding that for a moment. Really feel that length that you're creating all the way from the top of the head, back towards the tailbone, and all the way along the back of the leg towards that right heel. Now turning the right foot now out towards the side, right toes out towards the long side of the mat if you've got one. Lifting yourself back up, adjusting the feet. Starting off by just straightening that front leg and just really feeling that grounding down to all four corners of both feet, and really on that back foot where it's pointing out towards the side, running parallel with the back of the room. Just really focus on that weight towards the outside of that back foot. Now bending the left knee and just ensuring that it's out towards the little toe side of that left foot. Arms out in front, forward and back. And again, turning the palms up, straightening that front leg, arms up and overhead. Inhale, exhaling back out again. And once more, inhaling back up, back down. Straightening out, forward and back, sinking those hips down towards the floor. Hands back across the legs. Pointing the left toes now out forward, so towards the long side of the mat if you've got one. And just start heel toeing the feet back in towards the centre again. What time are we? We've got 2 minutes left. Okay, so let's now just take ourselves back into a standing position. So really feeling that grounding down again through all four corners of the feet. Taking our arms down by our side, closing the eyes. As the rain starts to just get that little bit heavier, hopefully not too torrential. Just really feeling whatever sensations you're experiencing in the body now. The fluidity, the length, the depth of the breath. And the ability, the influence that then has on the mind, and your ability to remain focused on one thing at a time, one raindrop at a time. Really stretching those fingers out towards the floor, feeling that grounding down through the feet, top of the head lifting up towards the sky, the ceiling above you. Nice soft gaze, open the eyes. And there we go. Right, let me just get my raincoat just for a moment. Right, so I've got one of the boys' Spider-Man umbrellas just in case I needed it for this session today, and I probably did, to be honest. It's starting to get a bit heavy out here. I really hope you've enjoyed today's session. I really hope you've enjoyed this last 3 weeks that we've had together. We're now at the halfway stage. Hopefully the weather will brighten up again from next week. We've been focusing on Keynsham Food Bank and the Trussell Trust this week in terms of how they're looking to tackle food poverty. So I'll put a blog up about that probably over the weekend. Next week we're looking at Focus on Suicide Prevention Bristol. So all of the work that they do to support people that are thinking about taking their own lives. So really important topic, an organisation I've worked with before through my Movember campaign last year. So really looking forward to shining a light on their amazing work and of course helping to raise some money to support their emergency appeal. Anyway, hopefully the sun comes out at some point over the next day or so and you get a chance to enjoy what may be a dry weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take it easy and see you soon.